What's up, guys? Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching time roll away. No, I'm not a good singer, I know. I just come outside, I thought, I want to try to talk about Chi. In some of my other videos, I talked about the spiritual journey. What is the spiritual journey? You know, what is religion, I spoke about. And then what is the spiritual journey? So, I said all that before, and the last one maybe was long-winded, but it's, I've been studying this stuff for over 25 years. So, and it's all like interlaced, grandma's knitting, it's all interwoven, so it's hard to just to say this is what it is. Nobody can really say exactly what it is, so a bit long-winded, but I think I got my point across. Would I do it differently if I did it again? No, because that was like the 10th attempt. I actually tried to write it down many years ago, but I didn't want to write a book about it, so I thought one day I'll just talk it like I did, and I did the best I could. So so what I want to talk about today is Chi. What is Chi? Chi is a word given to, we'll call it an energy from China. And I said in the last video, I'll just go back over it briefly to sort of link into this. I work for a company in America in Raleigh, North Carolina called CREE, C-R-E-E, a semiconductor manufacturer, and I worked in the research and development department. My job was to support the scientists, when the whole thing was a research and development, because there's a recipe, but it all depends on temperature. There's so many variable factors that went into making these things. So anyway, my job was to support the scientists, to take pictures with electron microscope and to other types of equipment. So one day the top scientist, Dr. Khan, came in. He's from China, hence the name Khan. Spoke, good English, not great, but good. Little bit of an introverted character. Nobody really spoke to him, but I sort of built a relationship with him over time. And he always used to come in and tease me and tell my boss not to give me holiday and things like that. So we had a pretty good relationship. And I said to him, Dr. Khan, what is Chi? And he listened, without even lifting his eyes up from what he was looking at, he just like, laughed at the question and said that Chinese scientists have been, or Chinese people have been studying Chi for eons and have no idea really what it is. So today I'm going to try to explain my idea of what it is. And how did I come to that idea? Well, I've been reading about many different religions and spiritual people who, I won't get off the point, but let's just say there's an energy, okay, for now. So in China they call it Chi. In Japan they call it Kai. In India they call it Prana. In the West, there has many names, but I spoke to another guy who agreed with me. He was some big programmer for a company in Raleigh. I forget who he worked for, and he did lots of consulting work. And he agreed with me that basically Holy Spirit, in Christianity you have Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And who is the Father but God? So who is God? I say architect, because the way that things are designed. If you look into a plant, how does a plant do what it does? How do you put a seed in the ground and it knows to be a watermelon, or to be a sunflower, or to be a grape? And it all needs different temperatures. I don't even know what an orchid seed looks like. but they all do what they do. And I have some orchids from Hawaii that grow here, and they have a crazy smell. They produce papaya, they produce bananas, they produce all kinds of different things. So if you really look into that, it's not a direct science. It's like, how does a tree know to suck water out of the ground, and how does it pump it to the top? It doesn't have a pump from the hardware store. So there's many things that we don't really understand about the place we live in. We call this Earth, when we live here in our Earth suit. So who are we? So let's get to the point, to keep this short as I can. Chi, Prana, Kai, whatever, and I suppose there's a million other names from other parts of the world. What is it? Well, in China, they have a thing called Tai Chi. Tai Chi is gathering Chi. And what is it? It's like a life force, an energy that you can do something with. It's tangible, you can touch it. And then, in Java, I spent some, I don't know how many months in Java, I can't remember now, maybe 4 or 5, I can't remember, looking into all this stuff, traveling around, meeting some people, and met some really, I listen to stories and I go, and I don't sort of say yes or no, I just say, and put it in the catalog, because I don't know the answers, I don't know what's right and wrong, I just listen. So, what is a healing? How does the supernatural healing take place? I think it's all to do with Chi. This is my opinion. I'm allowed my opinion. My video. So, how do you gather Chi? How do you collect this? Well, there's many different ways. One time, at one point when I was studying this, in Christianity, you say you have to be baptized in the Holy Spirit so that you get the Spirit of God. Okay? In Tibetan Buddhism, I can talk about other things, but in Tibetan Buddhism, if you read about that, there's people who learn how to walk, but they walk at they walk, I haven't seen it myself, I've read many stories about it. They walk, which looks like normal walking, but they walk at an extremely fast pace, like faster than speed marching, and they can cover crazy amounts of distance. So people say, how do you do that? So that's the point, how do you do that? There's a guy called John Chen. If you do a search online on YouTube for John Chang, John Chang. It's not actually his name, but that's his nickname that people who write about him. His story is he does a type of a healing, and he uses electricity. So people who have had his treatment say it's like being shocked by an electric eel. So where does that energy come from? He says it comes from the Dantian. Dantian is like, well, there's an energy source between your genitals and your rectum. That's like the center, if you look at Prana and stuff. But Dantian, the energy actually comes up and stored about 2 inches below your belly button. So that's like the energy source. That's where it's stored, in that area of your body. But is there a battery there or a capacitor to hold the charge? No. So how does it work? No idea. But what he did, his story is, he was an engineer, a designer and an engineer of some kind, and he had a big business, a big company, making loads and loads of money, but he had this inner desire to learn what this stuff was, like me and other people. So he went off to Malaysia and found a place in the woods and meditated for 2 years, and actually said that he spoke to God, whoever that God is, and said, I'm not leaving these woods or jungle he was in until he got what he was looking for. So if the key word is, he wouldn't stop until he got what he was looking for. So that's the key. Whatever you want to call it, whatever the energy you want to call it, whatever you call the energy, there are many ways to get it. Like I said, in China they have Tai Chi. So you do this fluid, slow-moving martial art, and the idea is you collect the chi. Sorry, I'm being eaten here. I have to move. So you practice this martial art, and the whole point is like you bringing in and pushing out and bringing in. So you push out the negative energy, bring in the good energy, and you practice this for a long time. And what happens? You get the chi, you get that energy. Look at this. Somebody being lazy. Spice, what are you doing? So you do the Tai Chi for a long time, and over a period of time you get it. But the point is to keep your mind focused on, I want the energy. I want that energy for what? Whatever it is you want to use it for. You know, but the intention, it has to be good. Well, okay, here we go. The intention can be bad, but there's a thing called karma. So if you know, this is what I heard other people say, but then I heard other people contradict it. That if you use the chi, or whatever you want to call the energy, for bad, then bad follows you and you don't live long. If you use the energy for good, then good follows you and you live long and healthy years. So don't use it for bad. It's a good, use it for the good. So you can collect it by doing Tai Chi, you can collect it by meditating, but I even seen, when I was researching this many years ago, I even seen people in China doing ballroom dancing, and they say that's a form of chi. I'm like, I don't understand that, but I don't understand a lot of things, so I just, okay, put it on the shelf. But I think meditating with the intent to know that you're collecting something, to have a relationship with the divine, I guess, whatever that divine is. And it's not limited to a particular religion. I said in the last videos that a religion is a vehicle to get you from A to B. At the end of the destination, you get off the vehicle and you realize, hey, I've arrived somewhere. And once you have that knowledge, I'm not saying any religions are bad. Somebody's eating me. I'm not saying religion is bad if that's what you like, but once you get somewhere, you start to understand that there is more than that. And when at the end of that journey, at the end of the train ride, you find hopefully what you're looking for, and that is the chi, the relationship with nature, and so on and so on. So I can't tell you how to get the chi. It's up to you to find what flicks your switch, what makes you what you want to do to find it. What I did is I actually was Christian, went to church, got baptized in the Holy Spirit, did all the things that the church said I had to do, but I was never satisfied. I was always like, there has to be more, there has to be more. I never felt like I was content with what I had inside. So what was that burning desire? And so I just kept looking, and that's what caused me to travel. I started traveling. I went to Bali, Java, India, Nepal, and spent a long time in all those places, just talking to people and asking questions. What stories have you heard? How does it work? All this sort of stuff. So today is my attempt to say, what is chi? It's an energy that can't be seen. But can you do something with it? Yes. It can protect you. I say it, that's not a good thing, but how else do you describe something you can't touch? I've seen a video once where people described, they make an energy ball. You put your hands together and you form like if you have an imaginary ball between, and you say, focus your energy on that area between your palms of your hands. And if you focus long enough, you'll actually start to feel a heat in your hands and feel a heat forming. That's the chi. You could say it's in your mind, but keep doing it. And you say, okay, let me try if I can turn it on again. And again and again, and then eventually you'll get it so that it turns on when you want it to turn on. and maybe it takes time, but then you can, that chi energy, you know, I've done this, you develop that routine until you get it, and then sometimes the chi comes by itself. You know, I get on my right hand, I started getting this burning feeling in my right hand, and it was just not, you know, I wasn't hot, I wasn't in a hot place, it just started coming in my hand. I said, okay, what am I supposed to do with this now? So, you know, you learn to develop it more and more, and I said I wasn't going to share this kind of story with you because I didn't want this out there, but I'll tell you a little story about this chi stuff, okay? So somebody phoned, you know, if people phone you, and this is when I was living in America still, they phone you asking for advice and things like that, and you can, you know, you hear the words prophetic, prophet, seer, fortune teller, whatever, you know, whatever vocabulary you understand. And they would ask me questions, and this stuff would just pop in my head. Where did that come from? Well, it's being connected to the other side, being connected to the energy, whatever you want to call it, and being in the right space. And you get stuff and tell them, and they go, how did you know that? And I say, don't ask, you know, because I can't explain it. But I just know stuff, you know, because there's studies now saying that, you know, memory is not housed inside your head, but actually, like in the computer language, you save something in the cloud. And where is the cloud? Well, there's a thing in there's a word called the Akashic Records. Where is that? It's, you know, energy floating around. You can say, oh, I got an idea. Where did the idea come from? That's the Akashic Records, or the other side, whatever you want to call it. So you just, if you tap into that by practicing your chi and so on and so on, and that's, so I want to sort of, don't want to spend more time on this, but focus in your thoughts, focus, you know, they say the third eye is here, behind it is the pineal gland. So you focus, you think, investigate, read, ask questions, and it'll get stronger and stronger. And you know, you can help. There's a guy, John Chen, I was telling you about, has the electricity. You can find him on YouTube, John Chang, sorry, and he would like touch people and release like electric eel, energy inside their body, and they'd shake like they were being electrocuted. And so two American guys, and you'll see videos of these two American guys, they went to interview him, and normally he didn't give interviews, but he went, he said, okay, I'll let you have an interview. And they brought some people with all kinds of meters trying to test him and research, did he have wires connected to him, was it false, and all this sort of junk. In the end, he stood there in his underpants while the lady film crew and everybody was there watching, and you know, they touched that space just 2 inches below his navel and said, are you ready? And they said yes, and like a switch he turned it on, and they got like an electric shock. So that's just some things. There are many things that people can do, and I think a lot of it's to do with if you just keep focusing and focusing and focusing and say, I can do this. Or if you say somebody's going to get you, then they get you. If you say, I am protected, then you're protected, because it's a lot to do with what you believe. So, and what you believe, the energy's there, you know. Or people can say, I feel a presence around you, or something like that. What is that? Do your research, figure it out for yourself. But I'm just talking about the energy behind all this is, I'm sorry I'm dancing out here. There's mosquitoes and flies trying to get my legs. So the chi, how do you gather it? You can do Tai Chi, you can do, in China they do dancing, martial arts, meditating, many different things. So nobody can really explain what chi is. So you could say it's an energy of some kind. How do you get it? I explain that. Research. And why do I want to do this video? Because I want people to know that this stuff exists. You're not living a haphazard life. You could, maybe there's a plan, but you can have many other things in life if you understand this. go get it. Thank you. If you got this far, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. And best wishes to everybody. Bye.